just chatting to him. He's just chatting to him on the bench.
I wonder if I'll get away with it. No,
you man aren't deep in it. He was going to bring on Salah, yeah?
Look how much space is on the right-hand side, you man. What is this?
Oh, my.
This is
these are they're trying to get him sacked.
I'm done, bruv. I've got kids, bruv. It's a Friday. Why am I doing this? I'm done. Bye, man.
I listen. Nah, it's a wrap. Put the fries in the bag.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. I wasn't gonna run a really long intro today, because people are complaining about it. Usually I'm just getting tweets and stuff ready in the background. So what I did this time is I just got them ready and then I went live. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to all of you guys. Big up to every single one of you. Please hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel if you're yet to do so. Every single one of you, please like the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're yet to do so. We've got Arsenal news. Alvarez, via the Independent, NDI, possibly. And we're going to be speaking about, Enzo Fernandez possible move to City from Chelsea. So that is another one. And we're going to be talking about Liverpool Football Club as well. هلا والله حبيبي. هلا والله آدم. الله محييك. أرسنالي من الأردن. أنت نادر على فكرة. فيش كتير أرسناليين بالأردن. He's an Arsenal fan from Jordan. نادر شوي حبيبي. يعني مش كتير في أرسناليين بالأردن. بس big up to you. Big up to all of you guys. Listen, there's 200 people in the building. Guys, close the live chat. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Every single one of you, just close the live chat now. I don't want to keep interrupting the stream to say it, so please like, subscribe, all that stuff. Every single one of you, please like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. The link is in the pinned comment. And big up to all of you. And let's just get this party started. I want to start off by speaking about this Enzo, / Chelsea City situation. And then we'll get to the bigger clubs in Arsenal and Liverpool. So, yeah. Big up to you, Madness. Big up to you. Big up to all of you. So let me show you guys. I'm on my own, Alexander. So let me show you guys the Enzo tweet. Obviously, this is the thing that kind of made me report it today, which is Manchester City are exploring a move for Enzo Fernandez as they prepare for Rodri's expected departure to Barcelona. New City boss Enzo Maresca knows Fernandez well from their time together at Chelsea, who currently value the Argentine midfielder at 120 million. Real Madrid could also turn to Enzo after missing out on Rodri. Now, obviously, it seems like Enzo Fernandez is probably going to be leaving. Look, here's the thing, Harry. When I share news, I usually will always share the screen and show you guys the stuff. So don't worry about it. We will report it all. Enzo Fernandez could be headed to Manchester City, ladies and gentlemen. And obviously, this is a transfer probably that makes sense for both parties. I just want to know why Enzo Fernandez, towards the end of the season, I think he scored the goal and then he did this celebration. Like, oh, I'm not going to leave Chelsea. And all of a sudden, pop, bang. He ends up leaving. It's the same exact thing Paqueta did. Paqueta did all this for West Ham and ended up leaving anyway mid-season. This is the thing with these footballers. Like, we want to pretend like they care about our clubs and they love our clubs just as much as we do. But never forget, the fans always love the club more than any player does. That's just the reality of the situation. And to be fair, I don't blame them. This to them is a job. It's a job for 10 to 15 years. Obviously, you have passion and you have players who care about the club and stuff like this. I'm not generalizing. I'm just kind of speaking, about football in general. Sometimes we forget it's a job. That's why when you look at the likes of Osimhen going to Turkey and people go like, why is he going to Turkey? Because his whole generation of family is now basically are good to go for the next 50 years because of the money he makes at Galatasaray. Why shouldn't he? So yeah, that's the thing. And for me with Enzo Fernandez, I like Enzo Fernandez. I think he's a good midfielder. I think he's technically good. I think on the ball he's Chelsea's best midfielder He's way better than Caicedo on the ball. And better than the others. Lavia doesn't even play. He's always injured, so I don't think we count him. I think it makes sense. And the reason why it makes sense is you have Elliot Anderson as the runner. You've got, Ayub Boaddi as the defensive guy. You need someone who's good on the ball. And to be fair to Enzo Fernandez, he's actually had many good performances for Chelsea further up the pitch, whether it be under Pochettino, whether it be under Maresca, whether it be even in this with the last guy that managed them, Matisse. He had good performances. So it's not like he's a bad player. It's not like he'll make a negative impact on Chelsea or something. He's on City, sorry. He's a positive player. I think he's a good signing. Boaddi is 18. So you're going to get games where he's good. You're going to get games where he's bad. You're going to get games where he performs. You're going to get games where he doesn't perform. For me, I think City lack balance now. And this is the thing I want to say about City. And listen, everyone knows me. I don't like Man City at all. There's a reason why when it was Arsenal versus City, I backed Arsenal. I hate Man City. Everyone knows this. However, I think City are in dangerous territory in terms of they can either make signings that push them to be that challenge for the title club, or they can make signings that push them back and make them like top 5 clubs. And it's the same with us as well. Liverpool are in the exact same boat as Man City. We like the one shared thing between both clubs, City and Liverpool, is if City and Liverpool don't spend money intelligently, we will be dragged into a top 4 race 100%. 100% will be dragged into a top 4 race. So that's the thing. And if City fans, just like Liverpool fans, expecting to challenge, then their club needs to make these intelligent signings. Do I think Enzo Fernandez will change Man City's life? No, but he will make them better 100%. Alongside Elliot Anderson, Boaddi. I think one of the biggest voids as well is Bernardo Silva leaving the club. Now, I know Rodri leaving the club has kind of let people focus a lot more on Rodri, which I agree with, because you can't replace Rodri. This is the thing people need to understand. If Arsenal sells Saliba tomorrow, you can't replace Saliba. If Liverpool, when Salah left the club, you can't get Salah. When Rodri leaves Man City, you cannot get another Rodri. You know how City can replace Rodri? Let me tell you how City can replace Rodri. City can replace Rodri by signing Vitinha or Fabian Ruiz or Pedri, and all of these players are unavailable. This is the thing. And City fans will always come and say, yeah, but Hussam, Rodri didn't play much in the last 2 seasons. That's why you didn't win the league, buddy. That's the whole point. The longest ever run Pep Guardiola has went on without league titles, back-to-back seasons at Man City. Pep Guardiola has never went 2 seasons without winning the league in his career up until this year. And Rodri plays a massive part. Rodri is one of the best midfielder in the world, probably. Him, Pedri, the likes of Vitinha, the likes of Fabian Ruiz. These are the best of the best out there in the world right now. And him leaving is a big deal. City fans can undersell Rodri leaving like it's just regular. It ain't regular, bro. Losing Rodri is not regular. That's why Hamza was losing his mind in all the clips. That's why Hamza was crying in all the clips. Because you get rid of a midfielder like that, that's not just someone, that's not just someone you sign like this, and that's the thing. So for me, I think losing Rodri is going to be massive. And City have to wake up. City have to wake up, Habibis. City have to wake up. And look, a signing like Enzo Fernandez is a good signing. It's a good signing. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And I think it makes probably sense for both sides. Because Chelsea fans, maybe some of them have had enough of Enzo a little bit. City fans, need a replacement for Rodri. It probably makes sense for both sides. Because, I don't see Enzo continuing his career at Chelsea anyway. Eventually he's going to go to Real Madrid or Barcelona regardless. That's why even on the tweet it says that they're looking at signing him at Real Madrid. Now, here's the one thing I will say. If Chelsea expect to get 120 million euros for for Enzo Fernandez, they're not going to get that. Real Madrid are not going to pay that. Barca are not going to pay that. City are not going to pay that. I think Enzo will probably be worth 90, 80, something like this, even in today's market. And it makes sense because that's the balance that's needed. And when Chelsea performed their best under Maresca, it was with Enzo and Caicedo. Obviously, you have the tackler in Caicedo, and you have the guy that's good on the ball in Enzo Fernandez. Do Chelsea need an Enzo Fernandez replacement? Probably not, because they play one game a week. They're with Xabi Alonso now. They've got Henderson. They've got Lavia to come back. They've got Caicedo. Morgan Rogers is their new signing on the left-hand side. They've got Lacroix, or however it's pronounced. They've got that guy. So, yeah, that's the thing. And the only problem with this, and obviously the Independent is a good source. The Independent is a good source, so it's not like we've made it up or something. The only thing about this whole tweet is this right here. 120 million. And you guys know on these solo shows, I'm always very interactive with the chat. So let me ask you guys a question. How much is Enzo Fernandez worth in today's market? Tell me how much is he worth in today's market in your eyes? Yes, the contract situation is true. He does have 6 years left on the contract. But if Chelsea are willing to sell and he wants to leave, there is nothing you can do about it. 60, 70, 80, 140. You're definitely a Chelsea fan. 100, 100, 75, 90, 200 Ziyad, please. 80, 105, 85, 116, 100, 120, 120. Some people are saying he's worth actually 120. Fair enough if you guys think he's worth 120. Oh, fair. Fair enough. So this leaves the question, who are Chelsea going to get in the midfield area? Because as I just said, they need a midfielder now. You know, as well, we need to keep in mind, Andre Santos left too. So who are Chelsea going to buy? Who are Chelsea going to buy in midfield? When Bruno Guimaraes went to Arsenal, some Chelsea fans lost their mind because that's the player that they wanted. And Chelsea are going to get Adam Wharton. And once again, I speak of balance. I'm a balanced man. Just because a player I like joined the club I dislike, I'm not going to pretend he's crap. I wanted Adam Wharton at Liverpool. I wanted that player at Liverpool. And Adam Wharton is a fantastic player. And once again, it makes sense. You have the defensive tackling guy in Caicedo, and you've got the passer in Adam Wharton. Midfield is not just about names. Midfield specifically is about balance. You need someone who's defensive, someone who's good carrying the ball forward, someone who's good in tackles, someone who's good in carrying the ball. It's all about the balance. How does it look as a balanced midfield? Wharton, Caicedo works. Why? One guy is phenomenally good on the ball, not athletic, but very good on the ball, can pass between the lines, and the other guy is a very good tackler and very good in the defensive attributes. That's the thing. You know, and it makes sense. Now with Scott, I've seen some of you guys saying Alex Scott. I think with Alex Scott, it's a different thing because Alex Scott for me, people are gonna get mad, but think of what I'm saying. Alex Scott is like a Curtis Jones type player, where like he's good on the ball, but it's mostly like short passes. You know, it's mostly like short passes. He can get a goal every now and then. You know, he's complete. I think he can do everything on the pitch. I think Alex Scott can do everything on the pitch, but he's not that athletic. And I think he's better for short passes than anything else. The difference with Adam Wharton is Adam Wharton also has a long ball on him, and Adam Wharton passes between the lines. So if you have a midfield line in front of Adam Wharton or a defensive line, he can break that line with his passing. That's the thing. So Alex Scott is like a Jack Grealish in midfield, basically, like someone who keeps the ball and keeps the ball and keeps the ball and then passes it to the left. Keep the ball, pass it to the right. Adam Wharton is different. Adam Wharton is the type of guy to like spray those passes in between the lines, and he makes a bigger difference and a bigger impact, in my opinion. I think if they do sign Adam Wharton and they place him next to Caicedo, then personally, I think that's probably the successful formula for Chelsea. It's the successful formula, 100%. It's the successful formula. Bro, let me tell you something, Mr. Lucky. Liverpool fans are afraid of Liverpool. That's what we're afraid of. We're afraid of Richard Hughes. Richard Hughes is scaring us. And Liverpool are scaring us. And FSG are scaring us more than anything else. And we'll come to Liverpool in a bit. You know, the more I'm speaking about Araujo, the more I'm just kind of understanding the situation. I have an opinion I want to express later, but we'll get to that in a bit. But that's the thing. Mark, Let me explain something to you. I know people have made it like almost impossible to report on transfer news online because of the same boring bastards saying the same shit over and over and over again. And even in their own comment sections, they get cooked now. I see news, I report news, I state my opinion on news, and that's it. It's very simple. And the Alvarez news, which we'll come to in a bit, is literally from the Independent. It's not my cousin making the news, it's the Independent. It's not Indy Kyla, it's the Independent. So it's a reliable newspaper that I'm speaking with. So, yeah, whichever one is news, we will speak about it. So, yeah, I think City now need to wake up. Losing a player like Rodri is irreplaceable. C2A in the chat earlier on said, Enzo is a box-crashing midfielder who scores goals. Maybe City need a bit of that. I think City's biggest problem is their lack of balance up top. I stick by my opinion. My opinion hasn't changed. Semenyo and Erling Haaland don't work with each other. They don't. City need creative players around Haaland. City need players that create chances for Erling Haaland. I said this last season, and of course the likes of Dom in the chat and others were here like, oh, the reason why is because Semenyo was wanted by Liverpool. No, I didn't even want him at Liverpool. Because Semenyo is a goal-scoring winger. He's not even that amazing technically or anything. You need players to create chances for Erling Haaland. For me, I think the most balanced front three as things stand is Foden on the left, Cherki on the right, and Haaland up top. I think that gives you the most goals possible. I think that gives you the most goals possible in terms of feeding the beast. Because Erling Haaland didn't look that good towards the end of last season. Erling Haaland for Man City dropped below his usual levels for good reason. Bro, you have to feed the beast. When you have an animal like that, feed him and he'll score goals. Create him chances and he'll score goals. Erling Haaland needs someone to pass him the ball. Now, I hear what you're saying. Big up to you, Janos. I hear what you're saying about Cherki better than the 10. However, if they do sign Enzo Fernandez and Boaddi, and you have Boaddi, Elliot Anderson, and Enzo Fernandez, that's when you're going to have to play Enzo probably further up top. Like, you're going to have to play Enzo in that 10 area behind Erling Haaland. That's my honest opinion. Because I just don't see a world in which City do sign Enzo Fernandez or sign a player like that, and then they end up like kind of just shunning him to the bench or something. I don't see that world. I just don't see it. So, yeah, I think City are at a crossroads, and it's the same crossroads with Liverpool, which I'll come to in a bit. You know, they're at a crossroads. Are City going to challenge for the league? As things stand, they lose Rodri. For me, I'm going to shave off like 10%, 15% from their possibility of winning the league. However, here's the difference between Man City and Liverpool and the other clubs. Man City have Arab owners. Arab owners want to win. Arab owners are different. They breathe football. They love football. They've been watching the sport before they even bought Manchester City. Liverpool don't have that same facility. Until this day, probably John W. Henry doesn't know what a winger is and what a fullback is and what a midfielder is. He probably doesn't even know. You know? Meanwhile, the owners at Man City actually care about the sport. So it might take them a year to rebuild. It might take them a year to get back to the level. However, I do think City will eventually get it right because their owners do love football, basically. So, yeah, we don't have kind of that's... we don't kind of have that same sort of thing for us as Liverpool Football Club. By the way, guys, just so you guys know, I know the audio recently on StreamYard has changed a little bit, but it's really not on us. Even Lewis messaged me today with the same issue. When I went on Views' stream, it was the same issue. It's StreamYard. They got nothing to do with us. It's the same mic with the same setup on the same laptop. I haven't changed anything. Yet the voice is different sometimes. It's not because of us, because it's StreamYard. But, you know, hopefully it's back better today. The audio, it's crisp and you can hear us. You know, so... that's the thing. Anyway, big up to all of you guys. Please hit the like button, subscribe, guys. I'm going to move on, talk about Arsenal next, and then I want to talk about Liverpool. We can't have 700 people in here, and we're not even at 200 likes yet. Close the live chat, please. It helps us during the transfer window. I need you guys' help. And thank you so much for 79K. This channel continues to grow with you guys' help. We are closing in on 80K, 80,000 subscribers. So please close the live chat, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're ready to do so. Like, subscribe. The link to my Instagram is in the pinned comment. Follow me on Instagram at DonHussam6 and add me on Snapchat if you use that. Snapchat, I share more personal stuff like getting a haircut, going to the gym, blah, blah, blah. Instagram is a bit more professional. So, yeah. Anyway, let's move on, talk about this Arsenal situation, and then we'll come to Liverpool at the end of the stream, because with Liverpool, like, there is no time limit. I can just talk forever. So let's start off by talking about Arsenal and Alvarez first. And yeah, like I said, please like, subscribe, all that stuff. I saw your comment earlier. First of all, thank you for watching as well. You're always here whenever I'm doing these transfer shows. Things might change during the transfer window. If a reporter reports during the window that, you know, Barcola prefers Arsenal, I will report on it. But the day after, if he prefers like Chelsea, I'll also report on it. The day after, he'll like that's the thing. You know, I said something online, and I've said this offline to Mo as well. So many people, their brain cells like are removed from their brain whenever Arsenal is the topic. Yaki, just talk about them normally. Forget all this twerk and all this dumb shit. Just talk normally. Whenever they're linked to a player, we'll speak about it. Just like with all the clubs. I've spoken about when United were linked to players. I've done videos on Chelsea. I've done videos on Man United. I've done shorts on Arsenal. I've done shorts on Liverpool, on Chelsea, on everyone. When the channel first started, the name of the channel was This Is Football from the first video, because this is the channel for everyone. Exactly, bro. Dislike them, but we're here just reporting the news, man. Anyway, let me tell you the news. And I'm going to ask you guys questions as well, just like I did with the Enzo transfer. So, this is the news, and this is once again from The Independent. Arsenal are considering Julian Alvarez, Bradley Barcola, Ilman Ndiaye after missing out on Vinicius Jr. Liverpool are currently further ahead in talks for Barcola, who PSG value at around £130 million. Arsenal are expected to step up their search for another forward once Bruno Guimaraes' £75 million move from Newcastle is completed, which it got completed today. Once again, source The Independent. So it's not like I'm using Fugazi sources. So this is the situation at Arsenal right now, basically. Julian Alvarez, Bradley Barcola, Ilman Ndiaye. Now I want to ask you all a question. Tell me how much is Julian Alvarez worth in today's market, in your opinion? One guy normalized it online, and then others started regurgitating it. And then after that, it's getting to the stage where it's weird. My most watched video this whole summer is about Man United, who I hate more than anyone else. Now back to the graphic. In pounds, guys, don't tell me euros. How much is Alvarez worth in pounds? 100. 95. Oh, 75. There is no way you think Alvarez is worth 75. $110 million. 100. If Rodgers is... You don't know, HS actually mentioned something very dangerous. Harry kinda gets it. In this window, bro. Okay. Now I'm gonna ask you a different question. Forget Barcola, because the Independent themselves say that we are further ahead. How much is Ilman Ndiaye worth in today's market, chat? This is a very interesting question I want to ask you all. How much is Ndiaye worth in today's market? So we moved on from Alvarez. I want to ask you about Ndiaye. How much is Ndiaye worth in today's market, in your opinion? $70, $90, haram عليك. 70, 65. Gunnar Chris says 65. 60. 60, 70, 50. $45 is too low in my opinion. 45 is too low in my opinion. I mean, look, someone said it earlier, and this is the key thing. And of course, people will say we're hating on City as usual, instead of actually listening to what we're saying. According to L'Equipe and the PSG reporters, and this is the key here, according to the PSG reporters, according to L'Equipe, etc., 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 these clubs are using the Elliot Anderson and Morgan Rogers transfers as measuring sticks. So when these football clubs are intending to sell players, they are using these transfers as a measuring stick. They're using the transfer of Morgan Rogers and transfer of Elliot Anderson. I've shown you guys the tweet already where the French sources said that the reason why PSG have the price that high for Bradley Barcola is because they've looked at the price tag of Elliot Anderson and they've looked at the price tag of Morgan Rogers and they're like, we're no way going to sell him cheaper. I think had we gotten maybe the Barcola thing done early, I think we would have gotten for cheaper than that. However, as Janos says in the chat, as they should, if I'm in the place of Nasser Al-Khelaifi and I've seen Elliot Anderson go for 115 and I've seen Morgan Rogers go for 117, I will also demand 130 for Bradley Barcola. I'll also demand it. Why? Because he is proven, because he's won back-to-back Champions Leagues. He's played a massive role in this Luis Enrique revolution at Paris Saint-Germain. He's versatile. He's scored important goals for them, even in the Champions League, like against Chelsea last season. Like, we can come up here and go like, we're hating on City, we're hating on Chelsea, but that's what the reporters are saying. That's what the newspapers are saying. The newspapers are saying, listen, with Elliot Anderson's price tag being that high, with, you know, the price tag for Morgan Rogers being that high, they are going to demand that much money. And in the words of Giannis, rightfully so. Why should they demand less? So it makes me believe if Arsenal are going to get Julian Alvarez out of Atletico Madrid, in the words of the Arsenal fan earlier on in the chat, 150 million. That's what I think. I think how do you get Julian Alvarez out of Atletico? You're going to have to pay 150. I believe that Atletico Madrid will probably let him go for 150 million. That's the thing. I don't see a world in which they let him go for 150 million. Now, NDI is an interesting one. Because here's the thing people need to understand. And I'm saying this to the Arsenal fans as well. Arsenal fans, please don't be stupid. Just because Martinelli and Trossard and Madueke are Premier League champions doesn't mean they're good players. Nunes won the league, he's not a good player. Let's not sit up here and do this whole good player because he won the league. Trophy talk is the dumbest talk online for me. Because I look at the players as an individual. Martinelli and Trossard. Now, you've gotten a younger Trossard than Zolas, and he's already scored in preseason. You look at Martinelli. Martinelli should be massively improved on if Arsenal want to compete for the Champions League. Now, for me, NDI is a big upgrade on Martinelli. When I was asked about NDI, I rate him. The problem is Everton would never sell to Liverpool, or I would have promoted it a bit more, but they wouldn't sell to us. You know, Everton would sell to anyone in the Premier League probably but Liverpool, so that transfer is never going to happen. That's like a Spurs player wanting to join Arsenal. Oh, a Spurs player wants to join Arsenal, and he goes by the name of Christian Romero, which we'll come to in a bit. Now, I think with NDI, you're probably going to get NDI for 70 million, 75. I think that's the range for Ilman NDI. And he can also be a difference maker. He can be a player that scores goals, get past players. Because the thing that Arsenal lack, and this is one of the things, that's why I always defend Saka. When you watch Arsenal, Saka is always willing to get past his fullback and attempt to do stuff. No one in the front line has that capability at all. Madueke does it and then runs the ball out of play. Or Madueke does it and then crosses it to the opposition player. On the left-hand side, Trossard was a good goal scorer. Martinelli can't do it to save his life. So for me, you need someone who can get the ball and go like, listen, F all this. I'm going to try to dribble past 2 to 3 players and put the ball in the back of the net. And NDI offers you that. He offers you someone who can do that, who can put the ball in the back of the net, who can give you a special moment. Because Arsenal fans even realized that themselves last season. They lacked special moments players. Eze was brought in to be the special moment. He got his special moment. The problem is all three of them came against Spurs. And then in the return game, they also came against Spurs again. You know, maybe had Eze spread them out a little bit, like one against Palace, one against Villa, one against blah, blah, blah. It would have been different. But he did all of them against Spurs, like all of them. I think he scored a back heel goal as well against Spurs, if I'm not mistaken. I think he scored the back heel goal against Spurs. So Eze was maybe supposed to be that guy that makes the difference in terms of like, you know, kind of the moments, but he failed to live up to that. And now you need moments players. Now I'm gonna ask you all a question about wingers. I'm gonna name a player that wasn't mentioned even in the tweet. Kenan Yildiz. How much would you be willing to pay for Kenan Yildiz, chat? Tell me. Tell me. How much are you willing to pay for Kenan Yildiz? Tell me, chat. Because Juventus, they value Yildiz at only £100 million. That's his value at Juve. If you go based off the reports, 100 million is actually what Juventus want for him. So when you survey the market, maybe 100 million for Yildiz is not a bad idea given the current conditions of the market. You have to think about this objectively. Maybe 100 million is not bad given the current conditions of the market. Now, where's the guy who mentioned Endrick? Mention it again because I want to give you credit. This guy, Harry. Harry's made a couple of good comments so far today. Harry earlier on mentioned Endrick on loan. I said this when Liverpool got Araujo on loan, and we'll come to my club in a bit. The thing that makes sense is Endrick on loan. I think Jesus must be sold. The problem is he's always injured. I think Havertz, I don't know. Gyökeres, good goal scorer, but perhaps doesn't suit what Arsenal need. Endrick is exactly what the doctor ordered for Liverpool, and exactly what the doctor ordered for Arsenal, and exactly what the doctor ordered for Chelsea. Endrick would fit at all clubs. Why? Because he can play right wing, he can play shadow striker, he can play striker, he's a unit, he's physical, he's athletic, he's a goal scorer, he's good on the ball, he's technically good. Bro, Endrick is a phenomenal talent. And on loan, he'd be incredible. On loan, he would literally be incredibly. You have nothing to lose. You literally have nothing to lose with Endrick. And it makes sense. But, whoever gets Endrick needs to understand that Endrick would require a starting role. Because Endrick is not going to go out on loan and sit on the bench. So now this begs the question. If Arsenal do end up getting Endrick on loan, who holds bench? Saka's not holding bench, so this leaves you with a striker position where Endrick will play. And he's not a good left winger either. Let's just be honest. Let's just be honest. Like, bro. Endrick is a unit. You talk some poo, bro. Bro, I've seen Endrick push Konate and get him injured. If he's not a unit, who the hell is a unit? Let's be honest about this. So, yeah, I think Arsenal need a left winger anyway, though. If the rumors are true, and Atletico want Gyökeres, and you can use Gyökeres to buy Alvarez, it makes sense for me. It makes sense. Arteta you can criticize Arteta for certain things, but the forward options, even 5 years in, are trash, bro. It's just they're just not levels. For me, Arsenal's goalkeeper, David Raya, levels. Their defensive depth, levels. Midfield, now, best midfield in the league, levels. Like deep this, yeah? Who are Arsenal's pivot options now? Bruno Guimaraes, Rice, Zubimendi, Lewis Skelly. Who are Arsenal's number 10 options? Eze, Odegaard. There is literally no better midfield in the whole league. Defensively, Timber, Ben White, Mosquera, Saliba, Hincapie, Calafiori, Gabriel. That's 7 options. Midfield, very good. Attack. Yikes. For me, Saka's a difference maker. I like Bukayo Saka. I'm not one of these ones who underrate Saka. But the other 5, they're all replaceable. Martinelli is replaceable. Trossard is replaceable. Gyökeres is replaceable. Jesus is replaceable. Havertz is replaceable. Madueke is replaceable. Moreno, I look at Moreno as a striker. I really don't look at Moreno as a midfielder. Maybe Arteta sees it differently. Maybe Arsenal fans sees it differently. But I think Moreno is a good striker. I think off the bench, Moreno comes in, and he's a good striker. He's someone who could definitely, score goals for Arsenal in clutch moments, just like he did for the Spanish national team. I think he's a good striker. Now, what they've done is, Trossard left, they got Zolas. Younger version of Trossard. Good idea, in my opinion. Arsenal now need a striker and a winger. In my opinion, I already think Arsenal are better than everyone and they're going to win the league. But if you sign like forward line players, I think you are almost close to guaranteeing it because you're just better than everyone else. Like that's the thing. And I know Arsenal fans, like some Arsenal fans might like Martinelli, some Arsenal fans might like Havertz, some Arsenal fans might like Gyökeres. I understand that. However, they're replaceable. They're all replaceable players. They are players that could easily be replaced. Easily be replaced. That's the thing. And they're not good enough. Just because they have a league title doesn't mean that they're good enough, guys. Like, come on. That's the thing. And it's the same thing for us. Nunes won the league. I was happy when we sold him. So it's not just because a player has a league title, it immediately means he's good. Big up to my guy Promo. Big up to you, Prom. Thank you, Ice, for the super chat. He says, many of my Arsenal brothers are saying we need more defenders, but I'm saying fix the attack first. And I'm getting so much stick for it. Your thoughts? No, I agree with you. That's literally the statement I just made. Guys, we have 900 people in the building. Let's get the likes up. Come on, guys. We're not even at like 300 likes yet. Yalla. Close the live chat. Hit the like button. Every single one of you. It helps push the channel to more new viewers. Follow me on Instagram. The link is in the pinned comment at Donasam6. Our sponsor, OK Jersey. That's where I get all the kits that I wear. I agree with Prom. I agree with you completely. And that's the message that I'm relaying right now. I'm going to use a player that's currently injured. William Saliba's injured, right? William Saliba's already injured. I think all Arsenal fans should be comfortable if Timber plays centre back, or if Mosquera plays centre back, or if any of them play centre back. Arsenal fans should be okay with that. They're all good centre backs. None of them is bad. The forward line, you don't have that wealth. So I agree with you. I think Arsenal should get a forward line player. And you need a left wing and a striker too, not just one position. Man like Harry mentioned it earlier. I think if you get Endrick on loan and then you sign a left winger, you're like league winner like this. Unfortunately. I'd like to say my club can win the league. I just don't see it happening now. But I just think, it's so obvious that Arsenal need a forward. And you shouldn't be getting cooked for that. I think all Arsenal fans should agree with you. Also, if you send Gyökeres, let's say Gyökeres and 40 million for Alvarez, I think that's a good transfer. It's a good transfer. I think that's definitely a good transfer. Is Romero going to do Sol Campbell 2.0? Even if Arsenal want to sign a centre back, I think signing Romero is a stupid idea. I don't see what positive Romero would bring to Arsenal, really. I don't. I think if Arsenal should sign any Spurs defender, probably Van de Ven makes more sense. Like, Romero is bad for me. Like, I don't think Romero's smart at all. I know, like, obviously the banter and the fun online, like, haha, Arsenal got a Spurs player, but I don't think it's a good idea, guys. I'm sorry. I don't think Romero's a good idea at all. At all, by the way. At all. And he's rash. And he will cost you in games as well. We've seen him make, like, stupid decisions in games. You know, get red cards, silly red cards, stomp on players, blah, blah, blah. Like, if I was in your place, I really would not want Romero. I really would not want Romero. I really would not want Romero if I was in your option. I'm being genuine about this. Like, it's just, I don't know, man. Like, it's just not a player that I'd want. Let me ask all of you a question, regardless who you support, just to kind of see if I'm maybe, you know, maybe some people think I'm crazy or not. Let me ask all of you a question. Who's better, Mosquera or Romero? Chat. Who's better? Romero or Mosquera? Liverpool need a centre back. If you tell me right now, I can have Mosquera or Romero, I'm choosing Mosquera. I'm not even like we need a centre back. I'd take Mosquera over Romero all day. Damn, so many people in this chat rate Romero. Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I think Mosquera is definitely better. I don't think Romero's better than any Arsenal centre back, though. I really don't. Damn. So many of you guys rate Romero that highly. Yeah, fair enough. I don't feel that way about Romero, to be fair. I don't. I think he's like rash and aggressive and has a red card on him. And he's just not a calm, composed. Because remember as well, Arsenal needs centre backs that are calm, composed, you know, can maybe pass through the lines a little bit, have that capability. Hey. Yeah, I'm the same opinion, bro. I just don't see the he's a red card magnet, exactly. I just don't see the logic behind the Romero one. Now, of course, you're gonna have your fun and tell them that once again you did the Sol Campbell stuff, but yeah, I think yeah, but that's a big issue though, Juwan. When you say his issue is his rashness, Romero objectively could cost Arsenal if he signs for them like 4 or 5 games. If he's rash 5 times and gets sent off 5 times, that's 5 games where he could cost Arsenal. And that's a big risk to take. Are the other 32 games where he won't be rash worth it? That's the $1 million question. That's the $1 million question. Now, I do believe that Arteta will definitely improve him because Arteta is good at improving defenders. But I'm in complete agreement with my guy Ice. Me and you are on the completely same page. I look at this Arsenal team and I definitely think that the attack needs improving. The rest of the team is good. I think if you don't sign a single player in the rest of the positions, you're good to go. The one worry though, and I will say it publicly, and I've said it publicly already, I'm warning all the Arsenal fans right now. You better pray that David Raya is as fit as possible because Melier is not a good keeper. I'm telling you guys right now, he's not commanding in the box. Like I don't get the logic behind Melier, but yeah, I think you definitely need a forward line player. If I'm in Berta's place, I'm gonna go sign a left winger and a striker, and that's it. Then league's wrapped up. And you know what's very funny? Yesterday, George tried it. Spurs fan. George tried it. He's like, you're bending over backwards for Arsenal and the league hasn't started yet. I'm like, okay, George, who do you think is gonna win the league? And he's like, it's gonna be an interesting season. I'm like, the funny part is anyone you ask also thinks that Arsenal will win the league. I think some people think some people just like hate certain like messengers, so they pretend to disagree with the message, but the message is the truth. Like, who the hell else is gonna win the league? Who? Who's supposed to win the league then? Who's gonna be the guy that wins the league? Who's gonna be the team that wins the league? Who's gonna be the team that does that? Who? Okay, guys, Arsenal are crap. They won't win the league. Who'll win it? All of a sudden, everyone just loses their voices. Everyone just loses their logic when it comes to speaking about this club. Like, I get like some Arsenal fans online are annoying, but the way some of you guys behave, because you hate Arsenal, you can't even be normal. You can't just like, I'm not even telling you to prop them. Just be normal. Just talk normally, just like you would talk about anyone else. I think some people are losing their capability of even just speaking football. What happened to just talking about the sport? So many people have just lost their capability of just talking about the sport like regularly. Like, hey guys, you know, Arsenal are better than everyone else because of 1, 2, 3, and 4. And they go like, you're an Arsenal twerker. Like, okay, who do you think is gonna win the league? We'll see. That's not an answer though. Like, that's not an answer. You look at the 6 clubs currently, the big 6. Spurs are Spurs. We all know they're not gonna win the league. Chelsea, they have to prove it. So many of these players have been inconsistent under various different managers. So it's not just one manager that they failed under. Man United, they play 2 games a week with Michael Carrick, and they need to upgrade their floor. They've made great signings like Andre Santos, and they've made great signings like Tielemans, but then after that, they've stopped. I think United need a bigger squad and a better squad in order to challenge and compete. My club, Liverpool, Iraola needs to prove he can do 2 games a week as well. And we haven't signed the players that we need. City, you have to respect City. They've got Erling Haaland, so I'm not going to push them to the side like they're nobodies. They've got Erling Haaland, they've got Foden, they've got Sherky, they've got good players. However, losing out on Rodri, losing out on Bernardo Silva, and losing out on Pep knocks them down a little bit. Now you come to Arsenal, it's the same exact manager, so they're the only club of the big 6 that have the same exact manager. They have the same exact spine. The spine of the team has not changed. They haven't made any big sale where like one of the big players has left. And they're literally considerably improving the whole team. Their pivot options are Bruno Guimaraes, Lewis Skelly, Zubimendi, Rice. Like that's just the pivot. Their 10 options are Odegaard and Eze. I've just named 7 defensive players for them. If you remove Saliba, that's 6 defensive players. David Raya has been a consistent keeper. Like, it just... That's the thing. Bro, they scored goals from corners. Akil, one of the guys that's been calling me out. Goals from corners. Premier League, 25-26. Let's go. Yes. Let's see. From set pieces, sorry. Set pieces. That's the question. I wanted to change the question. Premier League set piece goals. Let's see. In 25-26. So, guys. So he's a Chelsea fan, right? He's a Chelsea fan. Keep this in mind, because Chelsea fans are the ones like specifically can't talk normal about Arsenal. Arsenal scored 26 goals from set pieces last season, right? Here you go. I'm going to share you the source as well, so you don't say I'm making it up. Arsenal has scored 26 goals from set pieces. How many have Chelsea scored from set pieces? Tell me, chat. Tell me, chat. Yalla. Because Chelsea obviously play the beautiful sport, unlike ugly Arsenal. How many goals did Chelsea score from set pieces, chat? How many? Because this guy's been calling me out in all the chats. This guy's been literally calling me out in every single chat. Just chatting shit. In my own chat. Even though he literally has me on Snap. And he won a free shirt. And I've never treated him badly. But yet he chats shit about me. So let's establish this. Here we go. Arsenal, the set piece kings. 26. Let's scroll up. Second place, Man United. 22. Third place, Leeds. 22. Fourth place, Newcastle. 21. Joint fourth. Fifth place, Chelsea. 20. So the difference between you and a record season is 6 set pieces scored. The difference between you and the league champions is 6 set pieces scored. Why didn't you win the league then? If I ask Akil who's better, Joao Pedro or Gyökeres, he'd say Joao Pedro. If I asked him who's better, Palmer or Saka, he'd say Palmer. If I told him Caicedo or Rice, he'd choose Caicedo. If I told him Enzo or Zubimendi, he'd choose Enzo. Yet, the difference between the set pieces is 5 goals. So, why did Chelsea, just so let's double check in front of the chat real quick. You know, maybe we're a little bit mental. Let's go to table real quick. Let me just scroll. I have to scroll down to find your club. Sorry. No, actually, let me unzoom it so it's a bit more fair. So Arsenal finished on 85 points. Oh. Can we put Arsenal and Chelsea even on the same page? Yeah, we can. Why did you finish 33 points behind them? Why did you finish 33 points behind them? Tell me, please. Tell me, please. Guys, the reason why Chelsea didn't finish in first place is because of Tosin and Chalobah and Garnacho. 32, not 33. Wow, you really debunked my point there. It's 32 points, not 33. You're correct. He says, bro, they scored from corners. So he's making out like Arsenal scored so many goals from corners compared to the other clubs. It's 6 goals difference. It's 6 goals difference. Considerable improvement in attack. I've been addressing it for the last 30 minutes. Chat, put one in the chat because Prom sent this earlier. He said he wants to improve the attack first. Put one in the chat if you heard me verbatim say Arsenal need to improve their attack this for the last 20 minutes. Tell me. Put one in the chat if you've heard me verbatim speak about Arsenal's attack for the last 30 minutes. Big up my guy Paul, because Paul is an honest guy. He supports Liverpool for a long time and he knows. Like, he said it earlier. It's so weird that even just a regular comment now or whatever is considered... Here you go, Paul. See, this is another example. Hussam has whatever Terry has. They love simping for Arsenal. Okay, DHL, tell me, who do you think wins the league and why, please? Benito, you were in the chat when I told everyone that Chelsea fans are even more annoying than Arsenal fans and no one believed me. This is the thing. Go ahead, DHL. Who's going to win the league? Tell me. Tell me. But why should I come out as an Arsenal fan? Jack, who do you predict to win the league then? Actually, I can share revenue right now and show you. The month where I made the most money on YouTube is August 2025, where Liverpool beat Arsenal. I was cooking the Arsenal fans all month. I said my feet are kicked up, and we signed Isak. So your formula is wrong. The formula for me making the most money is when Liverpool are successful. That's how I make the most money. Tell me, guys. Who do you think will win the league then? Tell me. Go ahead. This is considering Rodri is leaving Man City too. Yalla. DHL, tell me who you think wins the league. Akil, tell me who you think wins the league. This is the problem. This is the problem. The league should be between. But why are you simping? Why are you doing what Terry does? Why did you mention Arsenal? You are Terry in the chat. You mentioned Arsenal. Why are you mentioning Arsenal? You're glazing. You're glazing. You're glazing. Why did you mention Arsenal? You're Terry in the chat. You're Terry in the chat. See how dumb it sounds? Nothing I said is glaze. Because over the last 30 minutes, I said Melia is a bad signing. I said their defensive depth is good. Their midfield depth is good. And now I believe it's the best in the league. And I said their forward line needs massive improvement. I called 5 of their forward line players replaceable. How's that glazing? But let me tell you the problem with you, DHL, just like the others. Someone online normalizes calling people glazers. You glaze Arsenal for views, blah, blah, blah. The most views and most money I made was August 2025, where I cooked the shit of the Arsenal fans after we beat them 1-0 at Anfield. One guy normalizes it. The lemmings follow. You know what's a lemming? A lemming is, this is the hill. See, this is the hill right here. A lemming is jump off the hill, and the other lemmings follow it and jump off the hill, and they all die. Make up your own mind. Don't just regurgitate what others say online. I have said the shit parts about Arsenal, and I've said the good parts about Arsenal. It's very simple. And I mentioned the reason why I believe that they'll win the league. They will win the league because, number one, they're stable. They haven't changed their manager. Number two is all their spine are there. They haven't sold any major players. Number three, they've improved their team by signing Zolas and Guimaraes, and they're going to sign forward line players. I'm sorry, I don't believe that City without Pep and without Rodri are going to win the league. I apologize. I legitimately, deeply apologize. I really should come here and say that City without Pep Guardiola and without Rodri should win the league. Or else I'm a glazer. Bro, what am I supposed to say? I've got Chelsea fans who think their players are the best in the league calling me out. And I've got a guy who says I'm glazing, and then he puts Arsenal as favorites too. Make it make sense. Anyway, let me read these supers. Romero would be a bench warmer. I really, listen, and this is one of the things as well. This is why you shouldn't be a lemming and just follow what others say. I'm telling Arsenal fans right now, if Arsenal sign Romero, I will publicly say it's a shit signing. It's a shit signing. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. I'm sorry. There is no reason to sign Romero. I believe Mosquera is better than Romero. I believe Timber's better than Romero. I think if you sign Romero, it would be a stupid signing. Not every signing you make is a positive one. You know? That's the thing. It's good for banter, but on the pitch, he's a walking red card. Because of white collar vultures, FSG, Arsenal by 10 points. Exactly, Irish Weasel. Now, let's establish who Don Hussam is. Alhamdulillah, I've been on YouTube for 5 years. Quadruple charge season, I said we're going to win the treble. Last season, I said my feet are kicked up. The year before that, I said we're the leopard in the tree. And the leopard is literally like the most successful animal when it comes to hunting, because he takes the prey up the tree. This is my YouTube history. So I've backed my club. But when the club are giving you no reason to back them, what the hell else am I supposed to do? Hey guys, Rio Gomoa is gonna win the league. Yes. Simicas, Kirkas, all the players. 35-year-old Virgil, Araujo is gonna win the league. Guys, let's be honest about this. If we made the signings we needed, I would have said we're going to win the league. Yes, I back my club. But we haven't made the signings required. So what the hell else am I supposed to say? I look at the rest of the league. The best team right now is Arsenal, and they're going to win the league. That's the honest. Does it really matter where the goals come from if you're winning the league? To be honest, no. To be honest, no. It doesn't matter where the goals come from if you win the league. Is it as enjoyable as watching the other teams? No, but if you're league champions, and no one cares. No one cares. At the end of the day, the parade wasn't stopped because you scored goals from set pieces. No one cares. And the reason why I brought up the stat is because Man United scored 4 less set pieces than you. Like, why no one called them set piece FC? Chelsea scored 6 set pieces less than you. Is that 6 set pieces the reason why they're 32 points behind you? No. So the reason why I pointed that out to Akil, to show him that the rest of the Arsenal team is good. Liverpool need a centre back. All 7 players I mentioned at Arsenal start at centre back for Liverpool. Yeah, convince me otherwise. So Van Dijk starts, right? No problem. The other 7 centre backs at Arsenal all literally start for us. So based on what I'm supposed to come here and go, oh, we're gonna win the league. Bro, guys, you don't win leagues by kumbaya talk. I'm gonna come to my club in a bit, but you don't win the league with kumbaya warrior-like speeches. You win the league by preparation. That's the truth. Typical Chelsea supporters. They are exactly the same as Spurs, but at least Spurs have the brain and know that they're Spursy. Typical Chelsea supporters chat shit. That's the truth. Go watch the conversation I had with Don last season. I can play it for you right now. Don last season believed that Saliba goes band for band with Fofana. Cucurella and Reece James are better than their fullbacks. Their midfield is better. Their attack is better than the Arsenal attack. Yet Arsenal ended up finishing above them by 32 points. But I'm the crazy one. Big up to Joseph again, who says, you and Terry irate because you're not Delulu and full bias. A little, but it's normal. But you're not a sheep from an Arsenal. Exactly. Bro, the most money I've ever made on this platform was when literally we beat Arsenal and signed Isak on the same day. I make the most money when Liverpool are successful. That's when I make the most money. I make the most money when Liverpool are winning games, when Liverpool are signing players. I make the most money, bro. The Verts, the Ekitike, the Isak times, I made the most money. When Liverpool are shit, let me tell you exactly what happens when your club is shit. When your club is shit, like the first time, yeah, you have like 5,000 people on watch along, 5,500, 4,000, 3,800. Because people are like, oh my God, Liverpool are getting beat here. And then it becomes like, oh, Liverpool are getting beat again. Liverpool are getting beat. Oh, Liverpool are getting beat. Oh, okay, Liverpool are losing again. Switch on the next channel. It's normal. It's not like, that's the thing. People believe that when you're negative, you make money. Not anymore. Not anymore. I promise you, not anymore. Not anymore. Like, back in the day, you know, when it used to be like Troops and DT and Claude, RIP and all these guys like outside the stadium, you know, and all that stuff, they used to make a lot of money. Nowadays, it's different. Nowadays, just being negative about your club all the time doesn't get you money. You don't make money, you know, because people aren't tuning into just to negativity. You know, that's the thing. And trust me, if I felt like Liverpool can win the league, I'd say it. I just don't believe it right now. Arsenal are clear favorites as a LFC fan since 1981. I fear we'll be fighting for the 5th spot without at least 3 more signings. And that's the point. And that's the point. If Liverpool make the correct signings, if Liverpool make the important signings, Liverpool Football Club can win the league. However, it's August 9th. Knock, knock, chat. It's August 9th. Like, the Premier League starts, like, the window closes in 21 days, and the Premier League starts in less than 2 weeks now. So, based on what, I'm supposed to be overly positive of my club. Like, I'm just trying to be honest. I'm just trying to be honest. Romero is a Tasmanian devil from Looney Tunes. You can't tame him. I agree with you, Jojo. That's why, you know, when people come here and go like, oh, just glazing. No. If Romero signs for Arsenal, I will record the video and say this is a shit signing and it makes no sense. That's the truth. Signing Christian Romero would be a shit signing. It's not a good signing. It's not. That's the truth. It's not a good signing. 5 of their forwards are replaceable. 5 of the Arsenal forwards are replaceable. They need to sign forward line players. However, the rest of the team is all incredible. That's the truth. Big up to my guy Promo who says, your Hamza video twerking for Rice was gold. I really like your stream, Sam. Thank you. If we get to 400 likes, I'll play Hamza twerking for Declan Rice. Every single one of you close the live chat and hit the like button. Hussam, you are biased and bullshit about Chelsea. Okay. Let's see, guys. Let's see if I am biased. You know, I like to get called out. Let's see, guys, how biased I am about Chelsea. Let's see. You know, maybe he's right. Maybe I'm biased. Let's see. 1 second. Let's go to my channel. Here you go. You're on my channel right now. Okay. Let's go. Henderson and Welbeck to Chelsea. Chelsea are smart, much needed experience. Okay. You scroll down. McSense LeCroy to Chelsea. Chelsea are dangerous. 52 million is an absolute steal. You scroll down a little bit. Chelsea signed Rodgers. Chelsea are a problem under Xabi Alonso. So, where is the biased bullshit? Big up. Thanks for your contribution, though. Thanks for your contribution. Anyway, did we get 400 likes? Big up to all of you guys. Hit the like button and subscribe. If we get 400 likes, I'll play the Hamza dancing to Rice clip. It's free. It's up to you guys. We get 400 likes, I'm going to do it. Now, big up to all of you guys. Like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. The link is in the pinned comment at Donasam6. And add me. Yeah, exactly. I'm a Chelsea Glazer now. Add me on Snapchat as well if you use that. Now, let's move on. Talk about Liverpool, my club. Big up to all of you guys. And yeah, let's do it. Let's talk about Liverpool Football Club. I want to talk about Araujo as well. And, you know, Araujo and Barcola. So, let's do this. Where is the Fabrizio tweet about Araujo? Here you go. Because I want to get the facts right as well. And I'm going to play the video as well. Exactly. Joseph. Hussam is a Chelsea Glazer. By the way, Henderson and Welbeck. Okay. Guys, put 1 in the chat. If you know, I could have fully cooked Chelsea for Henderson and Welbeck. Put 1 in the chat right now. Put 1 in the chat if you know that I'm capable of cooking Chelsea for signing Henderson and Welbeck. Just, you know, kind of to tell Sonny what it's like, you know. Could I have cooked Chelsea for Welbeck and Henderson? But I've said for the last 3 years that Chelsea need experience. They should stop signing kids. They ended up signing experience, and I praise them for it. Crazy. Almost like if your club does something smart, I'll praise it. And if your club does something dumb, I'll criticize it. Shall we play the Arsenal Glazers video on Madueke and show you how the whole 2 minutes was me laughing at Madueke? Interesting. Exactly. That's the lowest hanging fruit ever. I could have done a 30-minute video just laughing my ass off at Chelsea. Exactly. I'm unbiased. That's the truth. And that's the thing that pains people, is the fact that an unbiased fan is capable of talking about all the football clubs normally, you know, without just ha everything. That's the truth. But that's the point. I could have went like Henderson, what is this, 2019? I didn't. Now, let's move on, talk about Liverpool, guys. Like, subscribe to the channel. Big up to all the super chatters, everyone who supports us. I genuinely do appreciate it, jokes aside. Even Akil, everyone who contributes to the conversation. The only thing I'll tell you guys legit, don't come in here with a preconceived notion. Don't just like come in here with like, oh, Hussam is this, Hussam Glazes, Hussam this. But don't do this. Come here, make up your own opinion. Listen to the stuff that I say. I've already criticized Arsenal multiple times, even on this stream. I called 5 of their forwards replaceable. I said that Meslier is a shit signing. I've said all these things. Now, I want to go back to this Araujo stuff, and then I'll come to Bradley Barcola. Okay, Sharp Clouds. Who's going to win the league? Tell me. I want to play first the Fabrizio clip. And I want to work my way through the signing and the conditions of the signing. I did it earlier on the Liverpool stream as well, but I want to know as well like what the rivals have to think. The good, the bad. Irish Weasel says now we enter the depressing section. Wow. Anyway, let me play the Fabrizio clip quickly. And this is when the signing was made. This is when the signing was... See? You say I glaze Arsenal and then you say that delusional shit. Allow it, man.
Ronald Araujo to Liverpool. Here we go. Deal agreed for the Uruguayan defender to join Liverpool in a surprise move from Barcelona. It's a loan deal for Ronald Araujo. A big surprise, a big story. And now Araujo set to become new Liverpool defender to help Andoni Iraola. There was a need for some depth at the centre-back position. And now Liverpool attacking and going for Ronald Araujo. Deal agreed. Here we go.
Now, I'm going to play it again because I want you guys to focus when he says surprise.
Ronald Araujo to Liverpool. Here we go. Deal agreed for the Uruguayan defender to join Liverpool in a surprise move.
See what he just said? Surprise move. Now, one thing you need to keep in mind is Fabrizio Romano knows everything. I think this transfer window has proven it. Fabrizio is not the type of guy that BS's. Fabrizio is not the type of guy that makes stuff up. He said the whole Diomande thing before everyone else. Now, the fact that Fabrizio Romano himself says he was surprised shows me that even Liverpool probably didn't plan this all along. This was a legit out of nowhere transfer. Now, I want to come to Barcola in a bit, but first let me just continue on Araujo. I'm just kind of loading up the other one right now, which is the actual here we go tweet. This was the tweet right here from Fabrizio. More on the exclusive story of the day. Araujo will join Liverpool. It's all done and documents being signed in 24 hours. The loan agreement includes a buy option clause up to Liverpool as it's not mandatory. Barcelona already gave the green light. Now, Fabrizio himself is surprised. That shows me that there was no element of planning. You wanna know why? Because if there was a form of element of planning, at least you would have heard the journalist mention it, even indirectly or stuff like this. Now, no signing is 100% bad. There are bad elements and there are good elements and there's all this stuff. Earlier on in my solo show, when I was just talking purely about Liverpool, I mentioned this. There is the good, there's the bad, and there's the ugly. Shout out to ads. The good is he's versatile, he's a leader, he's very good in the air, and he's very quick. The bad is he has the bozo gene, and he has mistakes in him, and he can make a mistake. You know, he's capable of, in a big Champions League game, getting sent off, etc. Romero, basically. The ugly is his injury record. The biggest problem with the Araujo transfer is his injury record above all. That's the thing. The Araujo injury record is the worst thing about Araujo. It's not anything else. It's literally his injury record. It's the fact that he's quite injury prone, and it almost feels like another Joe Gomez, basically. Now, transfer market now works, unlike earlier in the morning when it didn't work. Now, let me show you his injury record. Let's just go through this right here. Pop. This is Ronald Araujo's injury record. Let me zoom in a bit so you guys can read it a bit better. And this goes all the way back. We're talking 21-22 injury record. We're talking... Where the hell is it? Here you go. This is the problem with Araujo's injury record. Right here. 18-19, head injury. 19-20, ankle. 2021, muscle, ankle sprain, muscle again. This is all the way back from 2021. You go back. Hamstring, hand, calf, concussion, adductor tear, adductor injury, calf injury, muscle injury, knee problems, hamstring again, ankle sprain, knee problems, stomach problems, depression, muscle injury. Now, when you look at the totality of it, here you go. In the last 2 seasons, he's missed a total of 40 games. The year before that, he missed 8, 23, 12, 17. And these are the days he was out injured. So he was out last season for 54 days. The year before that, 160 days, 41, 113. This is the worst part for me. Now, obviously, a player under new conditions can become a better player, can thrive. We saw that with Ousmane Dembele, you know, him going to PSG and thriving over there and stuff like that. But the problem is like Araujo is someone who has injuries in a way less physical league. He comes to the Premier League, which is more physical on an injury record. That's the problem. That's the problem. The Premier League is already a more athletic league. The Premier League is already a more like physically taxing league. The Premier League is already a league where, you know, you can get an injury because of physicality and stuff like this. So the fact that he has a bad injury record and comes into the Premier League, I think is something that is a little bit turning off. That's the ugly part of it. Good, bad, ugly. It's not all bad. It's not all ugly, but that's the ugly part of it, his injury record. We kind of like got a loan player, and the whole point of getting a loan player is a player that's available for the Premier League whenever you need him, center back, right back, etc. Now, the other thing is, the good part of it is the fact that we're not obligated to buy. So Liverpool are not obligated to buy this player. Liverpool are not forced to buy this player. If we don't like Ronald Araujo, we can send him back to Barcelona, no problem. So it's not like, you know, we have to buy him. It's not like we're forced to buy him. That's the good part of it. Now, one other bad element of it, you know, because we're mentioning it all. We're mentioning the positives and the negatives. This is not just negative. We're mentioning the positives and the negatives. Now, the negative about it as well is this whole surprise thing, meaning it was not a planned transfer. Here's what I believe. I think Liverpool's main target at centre-back is probably a centre-back that's not available this season. That's the only logical argument I look at when it comes to this football club. I just believe fully now that whoever we want at centre-back is simply not available, which is why we had to go down this route. Now, you look at previous Liverpool loans, and it's one of the, like, it's a horrible list. Steven Coker, Ozan Kabak, Ali Sissoko, etc. It's like the players that we have signed for loan, Arthur Melo, have not been good signings. They haven't. Now, could be that one of the major centre-backs that we're looking at is Mickey van de Ven. However, Mickey van de Ven himself is coming back from an injury. Now, the club may want to assess the Mickey van de Ven injury situation now. Is he going to continue to get injuries? Is he going to continue to you know, miss games and stuff like that? Or is he going to finally be fit? Is he finally going to be available? Maybe if they trust that, then they go in for him. Liverpool this summer received a 0 out of 10 for planning. Our future proofing receives 0 out of 10. You guys see what's happening with us this summer with Salah leaving and Barcola coming? Same exact scenario will repeat itself 12 months from now at centre-back. Same exact scenario, copy-paste, nothing changes. Literally the same exact scenario will repeat itself again. Same exact scenario repeats itself again. Not a single thing would change Just it becomes from wing to center back. Now, there's been news as well about Cody Gakpo joining Spurs. Let me get to mention this first of all. Tamer, who says, why has no one gone in for Murillo? I think Nottingham Forest want too much money for Murillo, number one. Number two, keep in mind, Forest do not play an attacking system and an attacking style. So bringing in a player like Murillo to play center back would be difficult because you're bringing in a player that's used to having DM after DM in front of him, set up in low blocks, clearing headers. Now you're going to be asking Murillo to stand at halfway line and be able to defend. And that's the big issue. And that's the big issue. And that's the big issue. Araujo loan screams to me, FSG don't want to spend big after that 500 million last season. FSG expecting Araujo to do another club or what? You see, Perfecto clearly has been watching my shows. This, for me, is the scariest thing about this whole conversation. I now believe that probably one of the reasons why they got Iraola to be the manager is they expect him to be a miracle worker, basically. I think the club expect Iraola to be this like miracle worker who comes in, improves everyone, and shit like this. That's the thing. That's the thing. I think they just believe him to be like some miracle worker who improves everyone, blah blah blah. That's what I'm on. And the other thing is, and this is the thing that irritates me, Iraola keeps speaking about exciting the crowd and stuff like this, and I'm with him. Because if Liverpool want to be successful this season, we need Anfield with us. We need Anfield behind us. We need Anfield on our side. We have to support the manager. We can't go back again to the same exact BS again, where it's every summer we leave ourselves short in one position, and then that one position comes back to bite us in the ass, and then everyone pretends to be shocked. Liverpool Football Club need a right back. Centre back now, you know, with Araujo signing, probably we're not going to sign a centre back. And we need forwards. Ekitike is out. Ekitike is out until April, March. I ask $1 million question. Big up to you, Perfecto. I agree with you completely, by the way. I ask $1 million question. If we are a club that are open to loans, why don't we loan Endrick? We got Araujo on a loan without an obligation to buy. Great. Why don't we loan Endrick then? Why? I don't understand. This is a player that if we loan him to Liverpool, he would massively improve us. And guess what? He could play right wing. He could play up top. He could play false striker. He could play behind the striker. I don't understand. If Liverpool have opened the door to loaning players, go and get Endrick on loan. Improve the team. I want to come here and tell everyone Liverpool are going to win the league. I want to do that. I did that all summer, last summer. And I had so much fun doing it too. But I just don't believe it now. I believe that Liverpool Football Club are probably going to sign Barcola. I think Barcola will come through, you guys. I know some people are worried about this whole Barcola situation. I think Barcola will come through. The club have been following Barcola for a long time. We should have probably done it last summer anyway, or the summer before that, or whatever it is. You know, we've liked him from his Lyon days. I think we're going to get Barcola anyway. So forget this Barcola situation. I think we're going to sign Barcola. For me, it's the other positions. Ibrahim Mbaye seems like that's someone that we'll get in. I think Mbaye is a player that, you know, we might get in. Midfield, I'm a little bit worried. As things stand, we're good. Jones, McAllister, Soboslai, Gravenberg, Wirtz, Nioni. That's good enough. These 6 are good enough. I'm not going to go OTT and ask for too much. I think these 6 are good enough. If you sell Curtis Jones and you sell Alexis McAllister, now we need an improvement. Now we need a new midfielder. Now we need a midfielder to come in and improve this team. I don't know who that midfielder is. The club were obsessed with Adam Wharton. I promise you all. I know, some people don't believe the stuff that I say. Some people do believe it, and they know I've been honest, like, literally all the time. And that the stuff that I said will happen and didn't happen was literally stuff that's out of my control, or etc. Or out of the club's control, even. If you look at that midfield position, had Arne Slot remained as Liverpool manager, I think Adam Wharton would have been a Liverpool player already. I think had Arne Slot remained at Liverpool, Adam Wharton would have literally been wearing a Liverpool shirt already. And I can confidently say that. I can confidently say that, no problemo. No problemo, I can say that. Confidently, by the way. Confidently. I think he'd have been like already a Liverpool player. So Adam Wharton probably, for whatever reason, maybe because the clubs are looking for more athletic players, haven't been that high up for so many people in the rankings. Think about it. City are losing Rodri, losing Bernardo Silva. They didn't go in for Adam Wharton. United have signed Santos, have signed Tielemans, who are after Elliot Anderson. They didn't sign Adam Wharton. Chelsea might sign him now, but only after selling Enzo. Spurs have signed Tonali, Mateus Fernandes, and still not looked at Adam Wharton. Maybe the clubs in the Premier League are looking at more athletic players. So they think that Adam Wharton is not like worth it to buy, basically. Because regardless how much Crystal Palace want for him, if the clubs rated him that highly, they would have paid the money. Same thing with Elliot Anderson and stuff like this. Maybe the clubs aren't liking what they're seeing from Adam Wharton or whatever it is. But I think there is a reason for this whole Adam Wharton situation, and I don't know what it is. Now, if we sell Alexis McAllister and sell Curtis Jones, I can see a world in which we attempt this whole, like, Wharton situation. I can see a world in which we attempt it. I'll be honest with you. I can see a world in which we attempt it. If not, I don't know who the hell we get in midfield. And the problem is, even the players that we mentioned, even themselves, have an injury record. Like, Manu Kone is prone to injury as well. Actually, while we're at it, let's look at Manu Kone's injury history. Manu Kone injury history. Let's look at it. Is it actually overblown? Let's check. And I'm going to put up the Barcola stuff as well now, since we're at this. No, I'm not toxic. I'm not toxic at all. Neither is she. So, let's look at the overall chart first. Last season, he missed 75 days from 5 injuries. 13 games missed. Season before that, 5 days only missed, 1 injury. Season before that, 44 days missed, 3 injuries. Missed 5 games. 133 days. These were the days when we were talking about Kone the most. Heel problem, ligament, knock, hamstring, muscle, knee, muscle, strain, muscle, ankle, hamstring, muscle, hamstring, muscle. It's almost like these repetitive injuries right here. Hamstring and muscle. That's interesting. His injuries are repetitive. Hamstring and muscle injuries all the time. Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. Seems like it's all hamstrings and muscles. You know? This could be improved on. That's the positive, I guess, in this whole thing. Let me show you now the Barcola news, the recent. Let me start with L'Equipe first, and then I'll go to Fabrizio. Big up to all of you guys. Like I said, please like and subscribe. Yalla. And follow me on Instagram if you haven't yet done so. Liverpool are preparing a €115 million bid for Bradley Barcola. PSG are expected to reject the offer. PSG have made their position clear to Liverpool and will only consider offers worth more than 150 million, excluding bonuses, for the French winger. Now we got the Fabrizio one. Let me put the Fabrizio up. Negotiations continue between Liverpool and PSG for Bradley Barcola, but nothing is agreed or even at the final stages as of now. Barcola, a top target for Liverpool, and he wants the move, as revealed since May. Never in doubt. No breakthrough in talks yet. Let's get to the bottom of this chat. In pounds, how much are you willing to pay for Bradley Barcola in today's market? In pounds. Tell me, chat. In pounds, how much are you willing to pay for Bradley Barcola? Tell me. $140, $120, $120, $125, $120 says Janos. Castro, behave. You know you ain't gonna get him for 80. Behave. $110. 125. Now, in case you guys are unaware of the recent news, but where am I? In case you guys are unaware of the recent news, but Ferran Torres is headed to PSG. Ferran Torres, Akliush. Done. Done. The style that Enrique wants to do can be played with these two. So I think they're gonna let Bradley Barcola go now. I think Liverpool will get him to close for 120 million pounds. That's what I believe will happen. I think 120 million pounds will probably get it over the line. No one's a winger at PSG. No one's a striker at PSG. They all rotate. You know this, Fazli. You know this, Fazli. You'll see Kvara down the middle and then on the right and then on the left. And, yep, I forgot how to, this guy as well, Mika Götze. So they've got the six now. The six are Dembele, Kvara, Doué, Götze, Akliush, Ferran Torres. Done. These six are the six that they're going to sign. You know what this also means? Mbaye has no place to go. That's another one. Now, here's what I believe happens at Liverpool Football Club. And I'm going to ask you for the same prediction. I think Liverpool, by the end of this window, will have four wingers. Barcola, Munoz, Rio, and Mbaye. If you were to predict four wingers to be at Liverpool, chat, let me know who you think were the four wingers. Who are the four wingers you believe will be at Liverpool by the end of the window? These are my four. These are my four. I think these are the four wingers that will be there. Same. Most people probably agree. I'll be honest with you. This Gakpo to Spurs thing has been happening for the last 2 months now. I'm sorry. I can't not believe it. I can't just not believe it anymore. It's been mentioned so much. This Gakpo to Spurs thing has been mentioned so much that objectively I believe it's gonna happen now. So many people have mentioned it. So many people have spoken about it. So many people have brought it up. I think it will happen, you guys. I really do. I really do. I think it's gonna happen. I think he's gonna go to Spurs. And if you go based off what De Zerbi said, what did De Zerbi say? De Zerbi said, basically, in essence, that he wants a winger and the other one to do different jobs. So if you look at it from that perspective, you have Savinho, who's gonna hold the width and hold the touchline, basically. And then you've got Cody Gakpo, who's an inside forward. So you kind of have both what you need, really. You have the inside forward and you have the guy that will hold the width. So it's exactly what De Zerbi wanted. I think they're going to give De Zerbi what they need. Now, if we don't sign Bradley Barcola, we are in huge trouble. Because everyone after that is a massive downgrade. At least Bradley Barcola can play on the right, where he rotates in game and where he moves to the right a little bit. On transfer market, it doesn't show that he's a right winger per se. But you guys watch PSG, you know that all their front line rotates with each other. So you'll see Dembele on the right, and then you see Barcola on the right, and then you do, and then you see Kvara. It's all rotational. It's not like a set fixed position on the football pitch. So at least he can do that. The other options, bro, they are trash. Let's just be honest. Minte, Bowen, whoever, like they're just not good enough signings. And if we sign the players that we need, we will be up there. Do I believe we can win the league? At a small percentage. I'm not confident yet. Maybe we will be uplifted by the signings. But as things stand, I think, we're the third likely club to win the league. Not now, if we get the signings. I still put City above us. I want to see who they sign as the Rodri replacement. though. That's the thing. Barcola is nothing like Doku. I'll tell you why. Barcola has outscored Desiree Doué at PSG in the league for the last 2 seasons. He has done. Yes, I like Yildiz. I just think Yildiz is wildly inconsistent. Maybe Yildiz could improve, signing for Arsenal or a club like that. However, he's inconsistent. He's definitely inconsistent. That's one thing, like, I don't think anyone can deny, really. He's definitely an inconsistent player. He's someone that, obviously you see like Champions League highlights and like you look at Yildiz and like, oh damn, Yildiz is incredible. And then pop bang, you see him in a game and he's kind of inconsistent. It's like bad pass, bad cross, good cross. It's a very inconsistent situation. It's just not the same. From the available wingers, though. Who's good? Chat, I want to ask you all a question, legit. Let's say Barcola decides, God forbid, he decides tomorrow he wants to stay at PSG and he doesn't want to leave. Let's just assume that happens, God forbid. Who would you sign at the wing position at Liverpool? Who? Read on him online. Matt said no one. Both, whatever it is. Whichever winger is available. Who? Keep Gakpo. Mateus Mane is not really left winger like that either. He does have misses in him, you are correct. However, so does Yildiz. Fernandez, Pardo, Minte, A'udhu Billah. Leao is being linked to Fenerbahce. So many clubs in the world need a forward line player, and he's being linked to Turkey, bro. He's being linked to Turkey. Like, yeah. I have a feeling about something. I feel like Araujo will play right back at Liverpool. I don't know why I get that feeling. I feel like it's going to be Kirkas flying up the pitch, and it's going to be like Araujo tucking in with Jake and Van Dijk when we attack. I have that feeling. I really do. Yeah, Somerville's gone to Saudi already. I have that feeling. I'm not saying this based on like any information I have or ITK or none of this. No ITK business. Just a feeling. Maybe he will play right back. The other feeling is something even worse, which is maybe Jake's injury is worse than first anticipated. Maybe the Jake injury is even worse than we first anticipated and first thought. Maybe the JK injury is worse than what we first anticipated. I'll be honest to you. This is a worry for me. This is a worry for me. I worry that JK is injury is probably worse than we first thought. But you wanna know why I think that? Because it keeps getting regurgitated that JK might not be ready for St. James's Park. JK might not be ready for Newcastle. JK might not be ready for Newcastle. He hasn't played the World Cup and he was out, I think, for quite a while before that too. So how bad really is the JK injury? How bad really is the JK injury? That's the thing. Like, if we were confident with JK's situation, maybe we don't even sign a center back. But I just don't know. Just don't know. Araujo at right back is awful. Negative on the ball in possession and attack. If Karkas bombs forward, that means Van Dijk at 35 years old will have to defend wingers. This is true. This is true. This is true, to be fair. Maybe JK will be like the left center back in that situation where it's like JK goes LCB, Araujo's RCB, and in the middle is Virgil van Dijk. That's the thing. Yes, however, I don't think Chiesa will continue as a Liverpool player unless he's a backup striker. I'll be honest with you. Unless he's a backup striker. Look, the thing for me saying Araujo will play right back, it's just a feeling. It's not like anything confirmed or whatever it is. I just feel like we might. I disagree with the Araujo take. Let's see how he fits in first. I'm FSG out. I rate him. Only downside is injury record. It's not like Umtiti or Longley. Yeah, but that's what I said. I mentioned, here's the thing, Nasser. I mentioned the good parts and the bad parts. I didn't just mention the bad parts. I didn't just mention the good parts. I also mentioned the bad parts too. I've done both. I've said the positive part of the signing. I said the negative part of the signing. I said the ugly part of the signing. And his injury record for me is probably the worst thing at all. Like, his injury record is probably the worst thing about this whole transfer. Thank you, my guy Nasser and Idris and everyone who sent in a super chat. Here's the thing though, Hekitike. You say you have a feeling we signed Spence. But why is everyone denying that we're gonna sign Spence? Like every article has come out and said that Liverpool don't want Spence. Liverpool don't want Spence. Liverpool don't want Spence. So what makes, like, I don't know. Is Rodrigo finished due to his injury? Everyone was twerking for him last summer. I wouldn't say he's finished, but he's going to be back like late this season or early 2027. I don't even have an intro, Ryan. It's just me playing a random clip to get like a tweet ready or something. He's going to be back either January 2027 or December 2026. So if you sign Rodrigo, you're probably going to have to wait for him to even be able to like contribute to your team or anything. That's the thing. Irish Weasel, I'll be honest with you. James Pearce is not a legitimate Liverpool source anymore. This is not, respectfully, this is not 2021. Like, where it was bad news Pearce and all that. It wasn't them times. It just wasn't. Exactly. You have to, what Chris said, Prom, you have to basically like wrap him up in wool until he's fit. Barcola, Isak, Endrick would be great. I'd love for us to get Endrick on loan. You see, here's the problem. The Liverpool fans now know that we are okay with loans. So this notion that we don't make loan signings is over now. We've already made loan signings. We've already signed players on loan. We already have. We have signed players on loan. We have brought in players on loan. So that's the thing. We've done this loan thing already. I hope we get Endrick on loan. I really like Endrick, man. He's a unit as well. I'll be honest with you, bro. Kubo is basically Japanese Elliot. Let's be honest. He can never be a winger in the Premier League. He can never be a winger in the Premier League. And I mean never. He's just never do it. You know, Prom, just for you. Just for you, Prom.
Arsenal, your daddy's here. Your daddy has arrived. Your daddy has arrived, and now sit down on the floor, Arsenal Football Club. You Arsenal fans, thank you. Send me all those compilation, all those YouTube compilation you've been doing. Send it to us, Man City fan. Thank you for all the hard work.
Yikes. Yikes, Hamza. Yikes. That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, listen. I'm gonna wrap up the stream here. Thank you to all of you guys. Big up to everyone who sent in a super chat. Big up to everyone who followed me on Instagram. Big up to everyone who likes the video. Subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Like, share, comment, subscribe. Follow us on the Insta. I'm gonna be back for Liverpool Monaco tomorrow, inshallah. And there might probably be an Ahwa late night tomorrow. Big up to all of you. Like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm gonna send you guys over to the Cop Tribunal. Josh is live. Go over there. And thank you, Os, Martin. Go over there and tell him Hussam Raid and his chat. Love you all and peace out, people.